Hello, hello, hello. Hi, beautiful people. This is Midnight Check-In. I apologize for being late. Miss Alyssa would not go to sleep. She would not go to sleep. She's actually here with me. Say hi. Just checking in with folks to see how you guys are doing today. Hold on a second. It's just a little too... my hopes are that you all are well today. That you had an amazingly blessed day with you and your family and friends. And I hope that you guys are staying away. Hi, Majesty. What up, King? My prayers are that you're staying away from the news and stop internalizing it so much. So this message is going to be very quickly. Majesty, do you just want to drop a link on your Organized Unity? I definitely want to support you and your business. Hey, I definitely want to support you and your business and all that you do. You know, I'm a big supporter of small businesses. So this basically, yes, please do. So basically today we're going to talk about questions of scrutiny, right? A lot of us may feel lost, may feel depressed, you know, because of everything that's happening. But it's a really good time to take a moment and ask yourself what brings you joy. Ask yourself what brings you joy. I had a really great conversation. Thank you, Majesty. I had a really great conversation with a friend today. And, you know, she asked me the question, you know, like, what brings you joy? You know, apart from the roles that you play, right? And so I'm proposing that question to you because that question was very profound to me in terms of just thinking about the different roles that we play in our lives. Some of us are mothers, some of us are teachers. You know, we identify ourselves based on the roles that we play in our lives. So I just wanted to take a moment to ask you that question, right? Hey, Rosette, how are you, beautiful? Hello. Miss Alyssa over here. Look, look, look. She wouldn't go to sleep, y'all. She wouldn't go to sleep. That's why I'm late. So I said, let me just come on. Let me just come on with this, with the princess. But basically, taking this time to think about who you are, right? In the center of who you are, and not necessarily thinking about the roles that you play in your lives, right? I wanted to just share some 3 things with you. What? I'm so sorry. This stuff keeps popping up on my camera, Lord. I just wanted to share some 3 things with you really quickly, right? I definitely did not want to let another day. Yeah, she hanging out with mommy. I didn't look. I didn't want a day to go by without me posting live. This is a personal challenge and journey that I'm on my own journey. And thank you for coming along with me, guys. I wanted to share solutions in terms of when you're asking yourself these questions, like what brings you joy, and if you come up with I don't know, if you come up with, you know, you've been experiencing like sadness, or if you come up with I'm experiencing depression, or I'm experiencing anxiety, or I'm experiencing all of these things, so it kind of clouds your judgment in seeing what actually brings you joy apart from the things that you do, right? So typically we'll ask somebody like, what brings you joy? Oh, I love to paint because I'm an artist, kind of thing, right? But what I'm asking you is to take away the artist piece, what you identify with, and ask yourself what brings you joy, what empowers you as a person, as a woman, as a man, right? It's a different question. It's a different question than what you love to do, you know, what makes you happy, right? Happiness is different than joy. So the three points that I wanted to bring up was to go, and I wrote these down, y'all. to go within, right? Answer the hard questions. Sit with them and answer the hard questions. We're going to do a little mommy bounce here, right? Get inspired. My second point is get inspired to seek God. Basically, listen to your body because your body tells you what is it that you need. Under inspired, I put force yourself to be inspired as well, right? Because there are going to be times, these are for individuals who experience anxiety and depression. I mean, you know, it can fall for anyone, but I come from my experience and my struggles and my victories with mental health. And sometimes you have to force yourself to be inspired, meaning you have to force yourself to sit in a space that you may not necessarily all the way connect with immediately, right? But you know that that space is good for you. I'll give you a great example. When I was going through a situation with, I guess it was a depression space I was in. I remember sitting in church or service over at God's Touch Healing Ministry. We don't call it church, we call it service. Hey, Deb. I remember sitting there for about, I want to say 3 to 6 months, I want to say, right? And I necessarily did not feel inspired. I necessarily did not feel like in awe. I didn't feel any of those things. But you know what? I knew myself and I knew that I needed to be in that space. And when I took, how do I want to say this, God? I just remember one day sitting in church and God whispered in my ear, I still love you. I still love you. You know, despite what I was beating myself up about, right? Despite what I thought that I did that was horrible or whatever it is, you know, at that moment that had me in this cloud or this vision, or this, you know, not being able to see, it was receiving God's love and reconnecting with him that pulled me out of that, right? Out of that particular space. This is a whole nother conversation. You know, we could talk affirmations, we could talk positive thoughts, right? But it is God and the Holy Spirit who brought me out of depression. Okay? Hey, Anthony. It is absolutely unequivocally, like, I cannot deny that. This is why I cannot speak on mental health and mental wellness and not mention God. I just can't do that, right? Because he did that for me. He, she, it, you know, however you guys want to define him. But I say him. And so I cannot talk about that, right? So how I answer that question is that God brings me joy, right? When I think about what actually brings me joy, I'm going back to the first question, right? My personal answer is God, right? He gives me strength. He gives me, like, he makes me happy, right? He makes me happy and he makes me joyous in a way that I can't even explain, even if I tried. Even if I tried. So I'm going to challenge you guys to find out what brings you joy. What brings you joy? Like you. Again, we're talking about you. We're not talking about the things that you do that may make you happy, right? Or the roles that you play. Because we got to be very tricky with that. Because sometimes we think about the roles that we play, you know, as our self-worth. You know, they're affecting our self-esteem, right? And we're more than the roles that we play in our lives. Mother's Day is coming up, right? Mother's Day is a great day, but we should celebrate mothers every day, right? And I'm going to challenge moms to think about, who are you outside of being a mom? Your children grow up, right? I'm sorry, baby girl. Baby girl's like, you need to get off, mama. I love y'all. I could chat with y'all up here all day. But, okay. So, go within, right? That was 1. 2, get inspired, right? Number 3 is walk in purpose. We're going to keep going back to this all these lives walking in your purpose, right? But it takes for you to believe that you're here on purpose, for you to walk in your purpose, for you to figure out what it is that you're supposed to be doing here in this world, right? And what is your place in the midst of everything that's happening here, right? There's a reason that the people are on here right now, you know, that are on this live. I've been doing live, I believe this is my 6th day, and I get different groups of people. There's some people on here who come back, right? So I understand that I'm not supposed to speak to everybody, right? And those who have ears to hear me, what I have to say, will understand what I'm saying to you. My words will speak to your spirit. Do you understand that? So it's you have to understand that there is a purpose for why I'm here, right? Saying what I'm saying. There's a purpose for why you're listening, and there's a purpose on your life and for your life, right? And I pray that you discover that. I pray that you discover that. If you do not know what it is, I pray that you discover that. I pray that you sit with that, right? I pray that you, excuse me, look at Rosette. Yes, I love y'all. I pray that you get inspired, that you surround yourself by beauty. You know, the beauty that speaks to your spirit, right? And I pray that you believe that you're here on purpose, so you can walk in your purpose and you can inspire and you can just do what you do great. So I am going to put this child to bed, y'all. Do you guys have any questions? I hope that you guys are all doing amazing, like I mentioned at the beginning. Rosette, if you have a website that you would like to put on the line, definitely do that. Anybody else who's an entrepreneur, I definitely would love to support. If you could just put your website on here. If you don't have any questions, my loves, I pray that you are all well, and sending you much love and light. I say bye, Alyssa. Say bye. She got little pink pajamas on today. No, you don't want she hi, there you go. Bye, beautiful people.